That is why Warcraft 3 Reforged is so terrible. I wish I never played a Blizzard game ever.
Oh,
Too pains
Warcraft 3
me to hear
Reforged.
what Blizzard has become.
That was a disaster.
You shall have your wish granted. Wait, no! Ah. Funny. My mind is completely blank now. I could have sworn I was just upset about something, but strange. I don't really... Sit with me. I have a tale for you. Oh boy, is it about video games? The fuck you think it is? Of course we're... What do you wish to tell me, old man? Well, long ago, when video games were much simpler, there existed a company called Blizzard. Over time, Blizzard released several outstanding games that won not only awards, but the hearts of millions. With every new title, Blizzard managed to outdo themselves. They were like Tom Brady, and for many years, Blizzard commanded great respect from gamers everywhere. So what happened? The games were great, right? And they kept making them? I don't believe you can target a single mistake and say this is where it all went wrong. Although Blizzard was well loved by
They have been
many
like
gamers,
slowly
at some point something
crumbling
in them
over
began
time,
to
haven't
twist
they?
and contort until they were no longer the godlike beings we saw them as. There's got to be more to it than that. Tell me everything. If you insist.
Oh snap! The good times. 95 to 2010-ish.
The decline of Blizzard is not a story. That was weird. The decline of Blizzard is not a story about a successful business that is now failing, but rather a business that continuously fails its fans. Blizzard was one of my favorite game developers of all time. My love for this company started when I was like 5 years old, and I've given them more than a decade's worth of support.
Oh shit.
Blizzard.
Yes, me lord.
Nintendo. Bungie. These were the companies I knew of growing up as a kid.
Okay.
All of them were gods in my eyes. Nothing makes me feel old quite like
Those are
reminiscing
back
on
in
the
the day?
first time I
Big
ever played
hitters.
a real computer
Big
game.
hitters.
You know, sitting there with Pajama Sam,
Nintendo still
Freddy
is.
Fish,
Nintendo's
Math
still killing it.
Blaster. Dad
Math
bursts
Blaster!
into the room, sits me down and says, "Son, you're almost 5 years old, but you've got a lot of manning up to do. It's time for a real game." Hands
What?
me StarCraft, and it was like
StarCraft.
I'm Harry Potter grabbing the wand that was destined for me.
Bro, my parents
I have
were
so
not
many
gamers.
vivid memories of playing the single player
That's so cool that your
campaign,
dad's like,
custom
"Here,
games,
you need to play
loving the
StarCraft now."
story, voice
pretty dope.
acting.
You called down the thunder, now reap the whirlwind.
I could
Yo,
go on and
old
on
school
and on
FLBs,
about how
what?
awesome these games are, and hopefully I get to make a video about them someday. The storytelling was out of this world, but what really blew me away were the cinematics. That intro to Brood War?
They were
I
always
loved
good
that
with their
intro
cinematics.
so much I parodied it in a horribly irrelevant video. StarCraft was so awesome beyond what Blizzard created themselves, and the map editor allowed for unique custom games that
Oh, I
anyone
forgot
could
about
play.
the map editor.
Around this time, my brother and I somehow got our hands on a copy of
Diablo.
and holy hell, scares me shitless. So bloody and graphic. Later I realized in therapy just how traumatized I was by the butcher. I can still hear his voice now.
Fresh meat.
Addicting, satisfying, Diablo was a terrifying introduction to RPGs.
Diablo's one I never got into,
Years
though.
later, Chapow, Reign of Chaos, showed off the power of Blizzard's battle drums. Frozen Throne comes out and it's like, okay, what have I done to deserve this blessing? An RTS with heroes that level up in combat would set the foundation for what World of Warcraft would become. And you know this part of the story.
I'm Mr. T and I'm a night elf mohawk. What's your game?
World of Warcraft
Oh,
took
shit.
the world by storm. Earth and fire, Heed my call. Much like RuneScape, WoW became a pop culture phenomenon. I'll never forget the South Park episode where Blizzard and Comedy Central collaborated to make fun of the game. There was so much to love about Blizzard and their community, their identity. You know, just the fun-loving spirit behind everything.
Oh, man. Poor Johnny.
Now, even though this video is going to be more on the negative side,
What?
I have a special place in my heart and memory for Blizzard as they were. The great people who were a part of it and the incredible experiences they gave me that I bought. And that's not to say they haven't done any good over the last decade. Overwatch was awesome, WoW Classic, an incredible trip down memory lane. Look, I'm not saying Blizzard as a whole is a reprehensible anti-gamer movement led by Anita Sarkeesian, whose sole purpose is to destroy all your favorite franchises and usher in the age of the Burning Legion. It's not that extreme, alright? Truth be told, I don't have much good to say about current Blizzard. And that's where I want to focus. On where they went wrong. How they destroyed their own reputation and image in my eyes. In the eyes of an old-time fan.
I really like the way you put this together. Activision Blizzard 2008. Wow.
When Blizzard tasted the cursed waters of Activision and merged with them in 2008, it wasn't a highly controversial move at the time. COD 4 had
I didn't realize it was that long ago, too.
Guitar Hero was the hottest fad since the Wii, and they hadn't milked any of those franchises to death. Back then, Activision wasn't the same money-grubbing company we know today. Or maybe they were, and they were just really good at hiding it. But none of us had the foresight to predict just how much this would affect Blizzard's identity, their culture, and their games.
You did this to our people knowingly?
Oh shit.
Our journey starts in July of 2010. Blizzard had a serious problem. StarCraft 2 absolutely killed it with its reveal, generating massive hype and sending shockwaves across all of Korea. It had been 12 years since Brood War. Fans could not wait. StarCraft 2 was coming out in 3 weeks, baby! However, Blizzard's official forums had become filled with vitriol and flame wars. Trolling and community toxicity was spiraling out of control, which diluted the discussions about the games themselves. Blizzard could not have this continue with the launch of StarCraft 2. How do we change this toxic part of our community? One executive asked. Weight loss programs and general hygiene classes, another blurted out. I've got it. Brain blast! People won't talk as much shit on the internet when they can be held accountable for it. So let's force everyone who uses our forums to display their real name. Take that, trolls. Take that! Oh yes, that's a fantastic idea. Sheer brilliance. How'd you like a raise? Why are you
Facebook
so
proved that wrong.
Okay, but how do we change this toxic part of our community without spitting in their face? This decision, of course, had the exact reaction you'd expect. The forums were flooded with complaints, and one thread reached over 11,000 replies. Look, I'm not saying let the trolls roam free in the forests of Buckland, but why wouldn't you just get moderators and or create stricter guidelines for
They had
using
no
the
moderators
forum?
on a forum?
Forcing everyone to reveal personal information would not only discourage people from posting,
you can't have
but
an
also
unmoderated
punish people who
forum.
did nothing wrong.
What
Ultimately,
the fuck?
this new change would have created more problems than it would solve, so Blizzard scrapped it. But the fact that Real ID was even considered as a possibility, let alone planned to be implemented across the board, was really just such a bizarre, out-of-touch thing to even attempt. And then there's this. I work in a charity. If they see I am a gamer, it could affect my employment prospects. Gamers have been oppressed since 2010, baby. But the outrage seemed to be only temporary. If we only knew what was in store for us down the line.
Oh shit. I know what this is. Oh, Dota 2!
Has a long list of battles in the courtroom.
I remember
None more
this.
famous than Valve Corporation v. Activision Blizzard. This, of course, was over the legal rights to Defense of the Ancients, the most popular custom game for Warcraft 3. And it was a battle for the ages. Two of the biggest and most successful PC developers duking it out. Who will come out on top? From what I understand, Valve worked with Dota developer IceFrog, who was later hired by them, and they wanted to trademark Dota as their intellectual property. Blizzard, of course, didn't want that.
I don't want it.
But Valve had already filed a trademark. Now, it's complicated, but for whatever reason, Blizzard and Valve settled out of court, with Valve keeping the rights to Dota All-Stars for commercial purposes, and Blizzard would be able to use it within their own custom games. This appears to have been a mutual agreement, but with hindsight, we see just how badly Blizzard was shafted. Nobody thought Dota would turn into the massive esports juggernaut that it is today, but you have to wonder, how could Blizzard just let the magic lamp slip through their hands?
Right?
Many fans lost faith in Blizzard's ability to retain the rights and provide the games they wanted.
See, I don't play WoW though,
World of Warcraft has been Blizzard's main moneymaker
but I
for
know
years,
it's gone like
with
downhill.
A large, diverse,
Don't fuck with Papa
dedicated
Gaming,
community.
right?
Throughout the Burning Legion
facts.
and Wrath of the Lich King expansions, the game only grew in size.
Can I say that
Cataclysm was a
I feel
bit
like
rocky,
they know how to
but
do
it wasn't
they know how to
until
do
May 2012
cinematics
that
though.
Mists of Pandaria released, and a large
They know how to-
portion
they know
of
how to do
fans voiced
cinematics.
their discontent. This was really the turning point for World of Warcraft and what turned many people off of that game. Blizzard reported that 14% of users had canceled their subscriptions, a loss of 13 million players.
Holy
after
shit.
a brand new expansion that's supposed to build the game up.
Oh,
Shortly
that's not
after
good.
This, Blizzard stopped publicizing their subscription numbers, as showing a steady decline might further exacerbate the decline. There were many controversial changes to WoW over the years. Among many was the Dungeon Finder, an expedited way of finding players for raids and instances. Initially, you had to rally up a group of friends or other players and all commit hours to tackling these intense dungeons. And that was a lot of fun. It created so much community interaction. Many of WoW's community-oriented features were made more accessible at the cost of player agency. World of Warcraft started to feel less like a world and more of an automated experience. Why leave the main city if you can just hop into a game and find a raid or instance anyways?
That's why
in some ways I'm willing to give Blizzard the best.
I will say this, that's why a lot of new MMOs feel so boring to me in a way, or why MMOs started to feel boring to me. I think it was after WoW had even implemented stuff like this, where you play a game and you could automatically just jump into a group that's doing something in the thing, and you didn't have to interact with them. So it felt more just by the numbers at that point, if that makes sense. And it felt really boring. So I see the appeal of not having a system like that, but having to find people in the world to play with. And like that builds the community, that builds like you create your own little group at that point. Feels more real, but yeah.
Benefit of the doubt for WoW's decline in popularity. Keeping a game alive for that long is going to have some speed bumps. And even though many fans have disagreed with the direction Blizzard has taken, at least they finally came out.
So the Panda expansion is what broke them? That seemed kind of cool. Like, then again, I never played WoW to begin with, so I don't know if putting Kung Fu Panda type creatures in it was, I guess that was a big split for some people. I don't know. I think that's kind of fucking cool.
With WoW Classic, and both games seem to be coexisting peacefully.
Oh, Diablo 3. Error 37.
But
Error
here's
37.
where we get into the real shit. Maybe it was just my experience, but I vividly remember the launch of Diablo 3 as being one of the single most disappointing game launches of all time, next to MCC.
What?
It was that bad. Not only had basically all of the depth been stripped away from Diablo 2, not only did it feel like a poor man's version of Diablo 2, but it was also just straight up broken.
See, I didn't get into
I
Diablo,
waited years for this
but
game,
I had
and
friends
within
that were
4
big into
hours of
Diablo,
gameplay, I was
and they
like,
were so
"This
disappointed
ain't
with
it,
Diablo
Chief,"
3.
and never looked back. The always online and DRM features were heavily criticized, totally unnecessary for people wanting to just play single player.
Yep.
Single player is it, says Diablo 3. Mind if we force you to play online anyway, in
Yo.
case you change your mind? Kind of do,
Yahtzee.
that happens, Diablo 3. Sorry, can't hear you over the sound of all my money.
The art direction was
true.
criticized, it didn't feel hellish, gameplay story was awful, excessive amounts of useless gear with 1% of that shit being actually usable. Everything was a bust, it just didn't feel like Diablo.
As a wee lad for young working adult, WoW was fantastic, but I lived my life there great, but not healthy. Now a grown-ass adult, I appreciate time-saving conveniences like Party Group Finder. So rough transition and get to the good old days kind of memories and feel the camaraderie. But I appreciate some of those changes at the same time were blasted as catering to the casuals. You know what? That's another good way to look at it too. Because see, me not playing the game, I would have never thought of it that way. But that makes a lot of sense because, like, even now for me myself, when I make time after work, like now for gaming or doing streaming, which I just combined me gaming time with streaming time, I still find it really hard to get into some RPGs, even though I know like some of them I haven't played are like fantastic RPGs, but I just don't feel like going through the grind. And a time saver, I think that's why Persona 5 Royal, like New Game Plus, interests me so much. Because like you can get time saving mechanics in New Game Plus essentially. You can come in strong with like your full Persona arsenal. Once to get certain perks unlocked as early as possible, you can literally just plow through enemies and just get through the story. I actually would not mind doing a New Game Plus of Persona 5 Royal at some point, or continuing. I think we started it. I think I've got like an intro into it, but I wouldn't mind doing that because I know a way to like blast through that game. But yeah, like the time saving thing makes sense though to me now. I get that. Yeah, time is a luxury you lose as you get older. For most of us, yep, that's so true. That's so very true. I agree.
The sanctity of this place has been fouled.
Diablo 3 was the subject of numerous complaints by fair trade organizations across the world. In France alone, a consumer group reported that there were 1,500 complaints in 4 days.
Oh,
the
shit.
organization, forgive me, K-Choisier, asked Blizzard to, and this is my translation, tell us when the fuck the game is going to be playable. Be straight up, okay? Be a
When the
fucking
fuck
homie.
can we play
Blizzard
it?
responded by saying, there's a sticker on the box that says, internet connection required.
Oh, fuck you!
The
That's
Fair Trade
basically what
Commission
they
alleged
did.
that Blizzard
That's
had
basically
violated
what Blizzard
consumer
did.
rights laws in South Korea. Hundreds of
We
gamers from
launched
there
it like
demanded
that.
refunds, which Blizzard refused to grant until a month later. In Germany, the Federation of Consumer Organizations threatened legal action against
Damn,
Blizzard
I forgot how
for their
big
lack
that
of
got.
transparency with the DRM,
I remember my friends were,
consumers'
like, hella
inability to
disappointed
resell
in
the
it.
game. And then there was the auction house, a feature Blizzard implemented to make everyone's gaming experience much better.
I think this is when my
right?
friends that played it dipped out.
If the gameplay
the
wasn't
auction
shallow
house.
enough, this fucking atrocity of a feature made it so players could literally put in real money to buy the best gear.
Yep.
This undercut the entire point of playing Diablo 3.
It's a
the
looter.
quest for gear comes from playing the game, killing monsters, doing quests. That's what makes it fulfilling, not by entering your credit card information. It was one of the earlier and more egregious forms of microtransactions, as Blizzard took a cut of all the profits. It took them 2 years to realize how damaging the auction house was, and would shut it down completely in March of 2014. At this point, we all started to worry and wonder, how could Blizzard continue to get into legal trouble? How could this company with a
Oh, just you
stainless
wait.
track record
Just you
bungle
wait.
it so badly with Diablo 3? How could they betray us?
We didn't live up to the high standards that we really set for ourselves.
Whoa. That's aged well. Has that aged well?
As WoW continued
Sweet
to
summer
lose
child.
subscribers, fans took it upon themselves to
Like a
recreate
fine
the WoW
wine.
game they wanted. Many private servers popped up offering different iterations of WoW that were no longer playable. Do you
Oh.
think when Burning Legion came out that it was the best? Here's your server. Wrath of the Lich King? Here's your server.
Oh.
Vanilla? Here's your server. Nostalrius. It wasn't legal, but it showed a surprising
Oh, this was
demand
like fan
for
done.
that classic vanilla experience. At its height, Nostalrius
Yo.
had 800,000 registered accounts.
Bro, it took fans to be like, we're so fed up with WoW at this point, we're gonna make our own shit. We're gonna go back in time, and we're going to revive old servers ourselves. What? Look at the numbers, too. What the fuck? The numbers, Mason. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Let me guess. Okay, here's my thought, because I know what's supposed to be coming later. WoW Classic, right? WoW Classic is supposed to be coming later. I bet this gets nixed because they'll do WoW Classic, right? Yeah, DMCA. Who wants to bet Blizzard's gonna try to fuck this? I guarantee it.
1,000 registered accounts. Naturally, having that many people flock to a service that you don't operate is bad for business, and in this case,
Copyright infringement.
I
the
knew it.
solution? Shut it down,
Oh,
boys.
shit.
They pulled out their warhammer, sent a cease and desist order, and Nostalrius was shut down.
Damn.
But that only seemed to further agitate the already upset fan base. A petition popped up,
Yo, the
begging
fans are
Blizzard
like,
to
and this is
consider
why
a
Classic
vanilla
got made.
version of WoW.
Bet.
It received over 280,000 signatures.
Holy
they
shit.
couldn't deny the facts anymore. A lot of people didn't like WoW anymore, and they wanted the old version. And naturally, Blizzard was upset because they felt fans weren't appreciating or understanding the work they were putting in.
Remember that one bug that really pissed you off that we fixed like 2 years ago? Still there in the past.
While it was within their rights
Wait,
to
what did it
terminate the
say?
server,
Still there in the...
Old World of Warcraft sucks. Fuck you for not liking our new stuff. Yo, what's up, John? Welcome in. How you doing? We're going over a little history of the decline of Blizzard and Activision. Well, mostly Blizzard, and then we're gonna build up into the new news of Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard today. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, chilling, enjoying this little adventure through Blizzard. It's fun so far. This video is also very well put together too.
past.
while it was within their rights to terminate the server, for 3.5 years, no alternative was
It's been a
offered by
ride.
Blizzard.
Facts.
And this was made all
It feels
the
like
more
it should already
worse
be the end of the week,
when
but it's
J.
not.
Allen Brack, the new CEO, answered this question.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
No. And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Here's a lesson.
What? What? You can hear people booing in the background. When you've got, like, some of them were just clapping, but in the background, you could hear people booing. Like, dude, when your player base is dying, and you had fans create servers to run old versions of WoW, and they paid for it, and they had up to 300,000 people, and you sit there, you shut it down, then you turn to your fans who are asking at your convention that's made for you, would you be willing to at least, make an old server for us who want that? He said, no. And you don't actually want that. I'm here to tell you what you want. That's not what you want. You just got nostalgia goggles on. That's all. Screams in RuneScape. Dude, did you play RuneScape back in the day? Do you still play RuneScape? Sounds like McMahon. Oh, you like this dude, right? We're gonna push this dude instead. Fuck you, because we tell you who to love. That seems like Blizzard right now, right? Like in this stage in here, it's like they're hearing. It's like, we hear you, but you don't really want it. I'm sorry, you don't really want it, bruh.
In healthy business practices, don't tell your consumers what they don't want. Show them why they want what you're working on. Better yet, listen to what your fans are asking for and meet that demand. There's no point in showing this kind of contempt towards your audience unless
I understand. I completely understand wanting to, for instance, evolve your games, right? You want to bring new stuff to the table. You want to innovate. You want to do new shit, right? I get it, right? I think that's okay. But what you bring to the table has to be something that makes us not care about how good the older ones were. Like, maybe we'll get nostalgic for the older ones, and maybe we'd wish we could play them every once in a while, or play an iteration of something every once in a while. But if you keep upping yourself with every release, the fans will stay there. There will be no reason to want to go back to an older one. If you put out a pile of shit, okay, say you put out a half pile of shit, right? It's very mixing and split at release, right? But you got some people who liked it, some people who didn't. And then the next one you release, you got a little bit more shit on that plate. And you lose less people. And then the third iteration, you have even more shit. Now it's just a full shit plate. And nobody wants to eat off of it. You know, you can't do that. You have to bring out something quality. Something that, even if it's different, if it works and it's fun and it's geared towards your community that you've built, it'll be successful. But people keep giving them money. Why? Right. I agree, John. Why do people... We're slowly starting to see some franchises losing money. Some meaning like Call of Duty and some other things. That's good. But it's taken so long for us to get even like a glimpse of that. It's like when Capcom was so damn scared of porting Street Fighter Third Strike because it's better game than 5, right? Because there's a huge player base for that. I don't even follow Street Fighter, and I know people who like Third Strike a lot. That's always mentioned. This is our ship plate. There are many others like it, but this one's ours. And you'll like it too. We're here to sell you our shit plate. But don't worry, it's not like any of the other shit plates you've had. This one's special. Because this one's from Blizzard. Perfection.
The goal is to purposely damage your own reputation and goodwill. And then J. Allen Brack started talking shit about Classic WoW. How their expansions were so orgasmically good.
Remember when you had to like spam cities and say, need a tank, need a tank, need a tank during the Burning Crusade days? You don't remember that. Because now you just push a button that says go to the dungeon.
You would be a fool to want the older, obsolete, inferior version of WoW. Don't fucking patronize me. With the shutdown, the Nostalrius team went to Blizzard's HQ and gave an 80-page essay on the development of the server. It looked and sounded like Blizzard was going to work with some of the Nostalrius devs to create WoW Classic. That would have been awesome. Bred some goodwill with the community, and these developers would make great representatives.
Oh my god, that would have been perfect. Can you believe that? Dude, you have... Gene, didn't we just talk about this? Didn't we just... something similar, right? Of why don't these companies hire these, these fans that do good work in the name of modding or DIY? Hire those motherfuckers into your team to do that for you, and it'll be great. Yeah, also thanks for I'm glad you're able to hang out tonight, Gene. I hope the stream makes for a fun discussion and also keeps you with some chill vibes as well. I hope your night gets better, man. Because it makes the company look bad? Yes. The only ones who do that shit is Sega. Right? Right? But, you know, Yeah, that's a no-brainer right there, right? The no-brainer is hire these fans that put so much work and effort into stuff that you banned, but now you want to bring in because of the backlash. Bring those people in, pay them money, and they will run those servers perfectly for you. Nintendo would do that, right? Same. Hire the talent. There's so much good talent out there, and you can tell which fan projects are like from the heart and which ones are just, oh, I did this for fun. Valve does it too, yeah. Remake of Half-Life 1 on their current engine, right? Though I gotta say, I've been biased against Blizzard for a long time now anyway. They've got THPS, right? And that's about it. Wait, oh yeah, because that's Activision. Which, you're right, they hit, dude. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 was so disappointing. It was very disappointing for me. I will say this though, that 1 and 2 remake, that newer one, spot on. Chef's kiss. Like, holy shit. It felt like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. It straight up felt like playing Tony Hawk back in the day. Straight up. That's what you were talking about when you mean THPS, right? I never knew they remade it. Bro, you haven't seen the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake? Bro, it is so good. It is it plays like the old school 1 and 2. And it's got like all the controls from 2. Dude, it's so good. It is so fun. I had a blast with it. I almost want to like take a little break really quick and show you this really quick, straight up. Boom. One was one of the games pretty much shaped my childhood. Same, bro. Same, and 2. Dude, Tony Hawk 1 and 2, I had up until Underground. I got up to about Tony Hawk Underground. I sort of liked American Wasteland, but Tony Hawk Underground is kind of where I stopped. I was surprised after they banned that kid for saying a political statement. Oh, yes. I remember that too, Gene. Yeah. Continual garbage fire of horror, right? And, but yeah, Underground was like up. That was like as far as I got, essentially. And then I was curious about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, so I was going to pick that up. But that was such a disappointment. And then once I saw the actual gameplay for this, I was like, okay, this looks promising. This looks more like what the game is. And dude, this is awesome, dude. Check this out. Probably get DMCA because of music, but I don't care. And it's all like the same controls from like Tony Hawk 2. With the manualing and everything, you can connect the tricks up. It's not floaty like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 was. Yeah. They did a good job with this. And I think it goes on sale quite often. Like, the game itself, like, brand new, is only supposed to be like 30 bucks or something. So it's not that expensive either. It's a solid remake, dude. And it's got the whole original soundtrack and some new songs in it. But it's super fun, dude. If you want to get like, if you want to relive some like Tony Hawk, get this. It'll do it. And you get the co-op. You can like play with your friends online and shit. And I think it's got it's got a park editor too. So you like make your own parks and shit. Yeah. Dude, totally worth it. I got that for my PS4. Loved it. I had a blast with it. I played through all of them. I got all the parks unlocked with all the fucking shit. There's only like a couple of secrets that I missed on somewhere. But like I basically got all the achievements done in all of them. You can make and of course you can make your own custom skater too, which is pretty dope. Totally worth it, man. American Wasteland is pretty decent. I heard. Just looks nicer. I'm not even heavy into the series, but I know This is how you do a remake? Exactly. You should do some runs later of the year, Crim. Dope C play. Yo, right? Dude, I'll be down. Right? SSX would be perfect for a remake.
Representatives of that community. It would inspire faith in the company. But they never
Back to
actually
watching the
worked with
fall
them,
of Blizzard.
And it really shows the sinful pride of Blizzard. For a long time, they just couldn't accept
it
the
does
fact
fall,
that
but
fans
you know,
didn't like the newer
pick it back up.
expansions and how WoW was changing. But they were the ones out of touch, not the community.
That's not what you want.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
BlizzCon is the annual convention held by Blizzard. It's a massive, exciting event that showcases and promotes all their major franchises. Celebrities make appearances, famous bands close out the show. It's just epic.
Who's this guy? This is a dwarf. And you know what? I prefer a little person. Well, okay.
Not many developers have an entire convention at their disposal.
Yeah.
And it's just Blizzard's way of showcasing their power, getting fans hyped to consume product. But in 2018, BlizzCon became the opposite of that. Hear ye, fans of Diablo. Behold, the new experience you've been waiting for. Diablo for Immortal.
So we knew we want to use mobile devices as the platform for a new Diablo game. Because nothing brings a family together like slaying demons.
You want to explain yourself? What are you doing?
People were confused, and through a series of hilarious questions in the faces of the developers,
body spray
the situation started to get out of
setting
hand.
up right.
So how long has Diablo Immortal been in development, and how is it affecting other Diablo projects?
Gene. Why aren't you making the Diablo game we
you may
want?
or may not have heard.
I can't imagine the embarrassment of having the crowd of people at your own convention turn against you. But it should showcase just how out of touch you are with them.
In particular, the majority of the games are PC-oriented, with Blizzard, Hearthstone being one of the other mobile games. Why bring it to mobile? Are you trying to reach a new audience of players?
What we remember about BlizzCon 2018 is the charcoaled remains of the PR department.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
Blizzard said they were surprised by the negative response.
What? They were surprised!
Now, either they're lying, or they are once again supremely and genuinely out of touch with their community.
Am I so out of touch?
No. Blizzard, your fan base is mostly
What's that all day and drinking
gamer
devs tears,
demographic.
right?
Those are the people who buy tickets to BlizzCon. If you
Straight
want to make
his
a
hair
phone
back.
game, make a phone game. But don't expect your fans to give a shit, or not bombard you with questions like,
is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile forever?
You get nothing!
Blizzard's ideals and principles were shelved in favor of tapping into the mobile gaming market. If you didn't think they were selling out with the auction house, you sure did now.
Yeah.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
You can play on your tablet too.
Hey, that really sucked!
Yes, I got phones! What? You wanna...
Video game
What, you wanna play on your gaming PC that you spend a lot of money to build and create? Oh, what? Like, you wanna play on that thing? The thing you've dumped probably the most of your money into? Over the years? To do something you like to do? Fuck you! It's on your phone, five-head. Duh. Get your phone out. That's the future of gaming. Fuck off. That's exactly how they sounded.
Is notorious for how hellish it can be. An extremely competitive market filled with stressful deadlines, long hours, hectic work weeks, and worst of all, uncertainty of consistent employment. When a game is finished and out the door, many employees have to wonder if they too will be sent out. Well, Blizzard answered
they would
that
just rotate
question
out
by laying off
dev teams.
800 employees in February of 2019. 800 people with families and lives and an income they need,
crazy.
benefits, insurance.
Yeah, Diablo Immortal. Yeah, they still haven't brought it out yet. I think it's gonna stay in development hell. They've talked more about Diablo 4 than they have Diablo Immortal, and shown more of Diablo 4 than Diablo Immortal. I think they're slowly like pushing it away as a bad idea and just going forward with Diablo 4. That's what I think, at least.
Gone. Well, employees, this has been real educational and all, but now it's time to part
Yeah,
with
they would
that
just
old
cycle out
Activision Blizzard
employees.
saying.
800 people gone.
Get the fuck out of my building.
During this time, Activision Blizzard reported $7.5 billion in sales.
$7.5 billion in sales. Yeah, they haven't even finished it. Yeah. $7 billion.
$8 billion in pure profit. Crack the goddamn champagne bottles. What an accomplishment. You guys remember the...
AKA the CEO made $7 billion. Yeah, exactly. You went exactly where I was going with it. Exactly. The CEO got $7 billion. And all the people who worked hard on that game, the majority of them got to stay, and the rest of them, they had to get laid off. Whoops.
Wii U? Yeah, it was pretty gross and flopping super...
Oh, I'm so glad he's about to make this comparison. Okay. They made $7 billion, laid off 800 people, right? This is what Nintendo did when they were in the red.
Sales.
Okay.
$1.8 billion in pure profit. Crack the goddamn champagne bottles. What an accomplishment. You guys remember the Wii U? Yeah, it was pretty gross and flopping super hard back in 2014. Nintendo was not looking good, and at that point the boss, Satoru Iwata, took a pay cut to keep his employees employed. That was at a time when Nintendo saw a 30% decrease in profits. People look to big companies for guidance. We want to feel...
Iwata, absolutely. A fucking leader and a legend. This man, they were in the red. That was the first time Nintendo had been in the red in a long time. Also, yes, rest in peace. Exactly. That was the first time Nintendo had been in the red in a long time. Because the Wii was very successful. Even though it, of course, eventually couldn't hold up to stuff coming out, the Wii still was innovative at the time and at launch, and for a long time until Sony and Microsoft could catch up, they were banging it out. They were selling it left and right because every family wanted one. Every family got one. Everybody I know had a Wii. I didn't have a Wii till way later. I didn't get one for myself, but like everyone, I didn't even really have to though, because everyone I knew had Wiis. Iwata, Reggie, and Miyamoto agreed. Legends. The Wii was for families, not even gamers, and it was awesome. Right. And that's why the Wii U, you could tell, I could tell as soon as the Wii U came out, I was like, this isn't gonna cut it. Like the Wii U's like power was that of like just almost a 360. That was the Wii U's power. And as soon as I heard that and heard where everything else was going, I was very nervous for the Wii U. I was super scared for the Wii U. They released it they released something way too early. You can see the conception of the Switch in that though, with the tablet controller, all that shit, right? You could see like where they were headed. Now, I also think that the Wii U probably also was necessary for Nintendo to get it right. Because the Switch is banging. The Switch is the best of both worlds. The Switch is now going to be the next Game Boy. You want a Game Boy, a 3DS, or not even a 3DS, but a DS, a Game Boy, and also a Nintendo console. You got it in one. It's now in one, and that's why I love the Switch. It's like the perfect Nintendo creation. But with what he just said right there, reeling it back so I don't get too sidetracked. CEO of Blizzard takes home $7 billion. The company does. Profit. Lays off 800 people. Iwata is sitting there getting deeper and deeper in the red. 30% loss because of the Wii U. And decides to cut his salary. Cut his salary so his employees could stay employed. That man's a fucking legend. Do you see any other CEO of a company doing that for their employees? None of them. Not a damn one. I would love to know more ones that do that. I think they all should do that. But straight up a legend, that man. And Blizzard made profit and laid off 800 people.
Good about where our money is going. Is it going to Bobby Kotick's wallet? Or is it going to the people down and dirty on the front lines who sometimes work
It's going right into Bobby's pocket. Right into Bobby's pocket.
17+ hours a week. Nintendo made a statement about the importance of their employees. And Blizzard did the same. They were just radically opposite statements. I get that a company may take on more workers than they need over time, and Activision Blizzard might not have been able to find a place for these 800 lost souls. But does that make it any less disheartening for a company to be celebrating its greatest success without sharing that with some of the people who made that happen?
Yeah.
In June 2003, the leaders of the Diablo project left Blizzard North. Feeling like they weren't involved with the big decisions anymore, and unable to guarantee their own employees' compensations and futures, the Blizzard North executives protested. They even went so far as to tender their resignations unless they were heard. Unfortunately, those resignations were accepted.
Wow. 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 CEO got money. He don't give a fuck. Some of your best devs come up and are like, look, we want better wages. We want to be treated better in this company. And we're putting our resignations down. And we want you to treat us better or we're leaving. And Blizzard went, bye. You don't keep a company making $7 billion by letting some of your best devs walk out the fucking door. Fucking stupid. They know that even the next years, that $7 billion is gonna trickle down and be less and less. But they're gonna ride that train until it. Gene, you gotta stop reading my mind, bro. Listen, they're gonna ride that train until it's dead. Straight up until it's dead. They'll drive it into the fucking ground. And that's the sad case. Cheap and pop. Yep.
In 2019, perceptions around Blizzard had completely changed. And in October of 2019, a professional Hearthstone player, the martyr Blitzchung, made a political statement in support of the Hong Kong protests while on a live stream.
Nuclear launch detected.
As Americans, we are naturally sympathetic to those who have had their freedoms stripped away unfairly.
They say a man never really knows himself until his freedom's been taken away.
Such as the undisputed case in China. Now, I'm not trying to grandstand, but China isn't exactly the paragon of human rights. Yet Blizzard's monetary ties to China, like many other US companies, they have to tiptoe around China's strict guidelines to release their products in their country. They are very picky and very profitable.
China's actually a free and loving country.
I'm out.
Not taking any chances.
I'm
Blizzard
out.
banned his ass.
Free Hong
Fuck
Kong,
those
hell yeah.
newscasters. No payment. You're gone. You're banned. Hope you learn your lesson. Speaking out about human rights issues on our platform. This is not a political platform, except it is when it's convenient for us. Now, I did a whole video on this subject. Please check that out if you are at all interested. I summarize it a lot more in depth, so I'll be brief. On its own, it's a fucked up decision. But with the George Floyd protests, it also shows the real double standard and hypocrisy. You banned Blitzchung, docked his pay, fired the casters involved, all because
That was so
he
insane.
supported a protest in Hong Kong. And you have the gall to post this on Twitter, as if your company represents this statement wholeheartedly. Racism has no place in our society or any society, except Hong Kong and China. Those societies are cool. Nothing's wrong with them. All is well consumed product. Even if you weren't just another company morally grandstanding on these protests and this issue while it's current, it's blatantly hypocritical. Outrage was so astronomical at Blizzard that the United States Congress asked them to reduce the punishment. Motherfucking Congress got involved. You fucked up so badly. Boycotts were gaining traction. Blizzard had yet another PR nightmare on their hands.
Base is under attack.
Our town is under siege. We're being attacked.
We are under attack.
They're destroying our city.
The town is under attack.
Our town is under attack.
Now, they eventually reduced the punishment, but never actually directly addressed the criticism.
Of course.
Only vaguely stated that
we will do better going forward.
J. Allen Brack deserves a lot of flack for how he handled this situation. You're supposed to be a leader. And at this point, Blizzard employees were probably feeling,
every decision you've made led us from bad to worse.
Yep.
Finally, we arrive to present day. Warcraft 3 Reforged. A dream come true for me. You have no idea
Reforged.
how badly I wanted to see the custom games and multiplayer revived and to get hyped about it.
I even heard about this.
Was a brand new game.
This was horrible.
This is Blizzard's latest and most damning fuck up of all. With a chance to revitalize one of the most important video games of all time, with a chance to revive the community, get new gamers into it, into RTS games, a genre that has been dying, Blizzard left the Warcraft 3 community in a worse place than if they had never touched it.
Yep.
How can a company actually deteriorate a product's value 18 years later? That's a topic for your business class, especially since the game still had an active community, and you tore out features and content that they've enjoyed for years. The way Warcraft 3 launched is beyond belief, but illustrates just how far detached Blizzard has become from not only their past, but their fans.
We didn't live up to the high standards that we really set for ourselves.
Shit. I speculate it was released in the state it was because of shareholder pressure, something that ex-members of Blizzard have said is tampering the way the company used to operate. Fans were beyond upset, and Warcraft 3 Reforged rightfully takes the crown for lowest review score on Metacritic.
Whoa, 0.6.
There was even a parody website called Warcraft 3 Refunded that just made fun of all the bullshit Blizzard had peddled about this game. I won't go into every detail. I'll link some videos that do if you're interested. But here are the main points. 1. Blatantly misleading marketing led people to believe this classic title would have all its cutscenes remastered and remade. What we got was
something no one else did. Right.
In fact, Homeboy here actually showcases how the cinematography is less dynamic and interesting than the 2002 version.
I'll hunt you to the ends of the earth if I have to. Do you hear me? To the ends of the earth!
It is there that your true destiny will unfold.
I'll hunt you to the ends of the earth if I have to. Do you hear me? To the ends of the earth!
It's like they didn't even try. 2. Tons of core features of the game from 2002-2003 were not re-implemented. Ranked ladders gone. If you play multiplayer, prepare to get ass blasted because there is no ranking system at all. 3. Art direction was butchered. Ew. Gross. What is that? Oh, sick. Original Warcraft 3 does look extremely dated, but everything is way more colorful and unique, recognizable. 4. Classic Warcraft 3 and even StarCraft 1 had a system implemented to prevent people from being dropped from matches. If your connection was interrupted or a little shaky at times, you get like a 45-second countdown timer, and if your internet was good then, the match would continue. Reforged does not have this.
Being pulled early on, Lawleye was trying to go for a greedy Ancient of War creep, and if this is cancelled, oh damn, that was not a
during
a BM leaving of the game? This was a disconnect once again. I'm almost 100% sure.
Yeah, I mean,
that was during the middle of a tournament?
I don't need a blood mage. I don't need you. You're benched.
What?
And looks like another drop.
If your internet connection isn't perfect,
bro, that's fucking, I would be livid, bro. What? Yo, what's up, Azari? Welcome in. How you doing, man? It's good to see you, dude. How's your night going? We're watching the decline of Blizzard. And then we'll get into the new news after we get through some of these Blizzard videos. But these videos have been very entertaining. So I hope you join us for the ride. Yeah, I cannot believe they didn't have that shit land up. Once again, having online only requirements. Fuck that. Fuck that. Long day at work. How are you boys tonight? Doing good, man. Chilling. Work's been going good still for me. And tonight we were just hanging out, having a chill night, and doing some chatting, and going over the Blizzard news of Microsoft buying out Blizzard Activision. And we decided to start with like this little thing about Blizzard. So pretty good made video too. Yeah, what's up, Azari? Bow, bow, bow. Oh, Gravy, I'm giggling my dick off at all this. It's great, ain't it? And the video is well put together, ain't it?
you will be dropped from matches instantly. This happens even in campaign missions, where you get an automatic mission failed screen.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
That would be like a whole nother conversation, but I am definitely Team Pokey on that, 100%. We can talk about that later on too once we get through this Blizzard stuff. It's gonna be a while for this, but like I'm totally down to talk about it later as well. But I am Team Pokey.
A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. Warcraft 3 Reforged represents Blizzard's complete lack of empathy or care for their older games and the fans who still play them. They just pissed on their own legacy. And these problems barely scratch the surface. And now Blizzard is forced to take their sweet time fixing things that never needed to be fixed. In the pursuit of money and who knows what else,
hell yeah, man.
Blizzard has lost their identity, being one of the core titans of the industry. And seeing them fall so far, fall lower than the likes of Bungie, is just sad,
that's a different one,
The
Gene.
franchises they used to be known and loved for are not what they once were. Where they used to be dedicated towards the fans, now they are dedicated to the shareholders.
It is sad seeing how far they've fallen.
It's no longer about what do the fans
like
want,
they had some...
but rather what can we get away with. Blizzard's sins are numerous.
They used to be big.
Tempting to disclose private information of their users to solve an issue that could have been fixed by better moderation. Introducing microtransactions that undercut the core design and fun factor of a game people waited 12 years for. Allowing a rival company to steal the commercial rights to one of the most popular games of all time. Changing WoW into something fans didn't want. Failing to provide fans with the experience they had been begging for until an independent group rose up to challenge Blizzard.
I like just a little
completely
recap.
misreading their audience by building up hype at their convention for a game their fan base has never expressed interest in.
Yeah.
Countless tone-deaf, out-of-touch
So
responses
bad.
to valid criticism. Tossing out 800 employees like yesterday's trash during their most financially successful year. Punishing people who dare speak on important political and social issues. Taking a stand with China. Letting internal strife and protests run rampant within the company. Tarnishing their own legacy with a careless disregard for the state of Warcraft 3
And see, this was right before the big allegations
These are just
came
the
out.
monumental blunders, the ones that have affected me the most. If you want to see current sentiment towards Blizzard, go to their YouTube channel, where the like-dislike ratio is up in the
Now you know how old this video is. Look, there's dislikes.
air, and most videos have comments disabled. And if you take into consideration that Blizzard said they were going dark on Overwatch 2 information, couple that with the Diablo 4 reveal, and it just seems like a desperate attempt to shift players' focus from what a shithead company they've been to, whoa, look at these new titles. But that's just my theory. Blizzard has proven time and time again where their morals lie.
Metal Gear Solid 1
Remastered
would be really cool.
Anymore.
Konami got to get better people in their department.
So now do you see the decline of Blizzard? I do, but what?
Yeah, comments turned off. Absolutely.
What happens now? Will Blizzard ever redeem themselves? Will I ever be excited for another title? That is for them to decide. We can only wait. But if I were you, Actman, I would let go of hope. Let go before it leads you astray.
Oh, also in other news, Battlefield 2042 is such a bad game and in such poor state that even the cheating sites that you have to pay money to buy hacks for are no longer going to support the game. How bad is it that your game is that fucking broken and that fucking bad that the people who make the cheat software that they sell to people to have like infinite ammo or like perfect aim or whatever, they're no longer going to support the game anymore. How insane. Yeah, zero confidence in Konami, straight up. Fucking work on them, right? Yeah. So that was the first one. So that came out a while ago. I heard this was a really good video for it, so I wanted to watch this one first. But it is older. It was made in 2020. So this is a newer one that he has as well, which I think is going to be more up to date on the allegations. So all of that was pre-allegations, pre a lot of the stuff you've heard in the news recently, right? This I think is going to like catch us up in a way. It's going to get us to the current state of things. Even though this was July of last year, I think this was right when the allegations happened.
And that is why China's dick tastes so good in my mouth.
Did you see that? It said somewhere at Blizzard HQ.
That is why China's dick tastes so good in my mouth.
What's going on, Activision Blizzard? What are you guys up to? Hey, Actman, we're banning a Hearthstone player because he stood up for civil rights. That sounds really douchey. It is, but you know me. You wanna get some pussy later, dog, bro, dude? Yeah, pound some brews. Well, what's up, Blizzard? How's it hanging? It's going really good, Actman. We just remastered Warcraft 3 and it's a total dumpster fire. The fans hate it. Yeah, that was pretty soul-crushing. You know me. And tomorrow I'm gonna lay off 800 employees because... You know me, Activision Blizzard here. Wow, it's almost like you guys can't stoop any lower. Can't stoop any lower? Oh, yeah?
Oh, he said, is that a challenge, bro? Is that a challenge? Let's go.
So if you haven't heard, I hate to be the bad news bear, but Blizzard is still a terrible company. In fact, they might be even worse than we previously thought.
It's impossible.
They've recently...
We just got done watching a video showing the downfall of Blizzard. And it was made in 2020, so it was before these new allegations. So we watched that. It's kind of it was a wild journey seeing the start of Blizzard and how good they used to be, and then how they just crumbled over time up until the recent stuff. And this is the one about the recent stuff. And this dude's videos are really cool too. The Action Man's videos are really cool. But yeah, night's going good so far. I hope you're having a good one too. And we're taking this journey, this Blizzard journey,
come under fire for some serious allegations, and a California lawsuit has been filed against them for sexual misconduct and harassment, treating their female employees like crap, unfair pay, and fostering a frat boy culture.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
No. Which, after reading all this stuff, is very offensive to actual fraternities, because some of the stuff they're being accused of is appalling. But for 1 second, let's try to be objective. To my knowledge, these are allegations, not proven facts. Even a company as bad as Activision Blizzard deserves to be viewed as innocent until proven guilty. That being said, it's not looking good. I think this story was broken by Jason Schreier.
So this must have been like right as it happened, like before all the big shit dropped too. Because this is still okay, so this video feels like it's more like right when the news dropped kind of thing.
This man is a national treasure. He is a shining beacon of what games journalism should be. Breaking story after story.
Jason Schreier is
seedy underbelly of the
fantastic game journalist. If you're not following Jason Schreier, you should definitely go follow him, because he is on top of it in the gaming world. It's so awesome.
Games industry and the truth that we would all rather look away from. If you haven't seen some of my other videos on Blizzard, really go check them out. To summarize, I have a love-hate relationship with Blizzard, and it's basically been like watching my best friend get hooked on methamphetamine. So, very sad. As a company, they fell long ago. But this is pretty much the nail in the coffin for me. And to be clear, these accusations are aimed specifically at Blizzard and not so much Activision. However, we'd be fools to think Activision has had no part in the radical change of the company's culture.
Yeah.
So the allegations in this lawsuit were
It's also strange how a lot of all that bad shit started to kind of happen after Activision acquired them.
Over a 2-year investigation conducted by the state of California. I repeat, the state of California. So this is not some random tweet with no factual backing whatsoever. It's a little bit more serious than that. The lawsuit alleges that women were paid disproportionately to men at the company, even at the executive level. They were promoted less often than men and terminated faster. In the office, women are subjected to cube crawls, in which male employees drink copious amounts of alcohol as they crawl their way through cubicles and engage in inappropriate behavior towards female employees.
I totally forgot about that. Like, I remember it being bad, but I like totally forgot about like what actually happened. Yeah, Kat, have you not heard this yet? This is Blizzard. Now, it's Blizzard Activision, of course. I do feel like that it got worse because of them, but this is also a lot of the reports are coming from like the Blizzard side. Yeah. So we're taking this journey because see, today Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard. So we're kind of like, I'm kind of building up to possibly good news for them, but this is fucked up. Yeah, cubicle crawls, yeah.
Crawl their way through cubicles and engage in inappropriate behavior towards female employees. Getting hammered on the job sure does a great job of explaining the current state of World of Warcraft. Male employees proudly come into work hungover, play video games for long periods, and delegate their responsibilities to female employees. Engage in banter about their sexual encounters and joke about rape.
Wow.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
It's too far to back out now, boys. I have to keep talking about this. If you want to make a rape joke with your buddies in a private voice chat, that's one thing. But like on the job, in a company,
it's still not.
Next
That's
to
still
women,
not good.
It goes
behind
on to
the
say
scenes
female
either,
employees
but,
are subjected
you know.
to constant sexual harassment, having to fend off unwanted
Like,
sexual
what the
comments
fuck?
and advances by their coworkers and supervisors. My fucking supervisors are catcalling in the offices and being groped at the cube crawls. I just want to say I don't think it's necessarily a problem that there's like a lot of men working in the games industry. Kind of like I don't have a problem that there's a lot of females working in the makeup industry. But this type of behavior is totally reprehensible. You know, if you're gonna be a shitty person, at least do it in the privacy with your boys and not at the expense of someone else that's literally right.
I still don't. Listen. Okay. All right. Yo, thank you for the host, Cat. I appreciate you. See, the thing is that, you know, a long time ago, when I hung out with a lot more people, you know, I had bigger friend circles and that kind of thing. There were some people that, like, you know, in those friend circles that would joke about stuff and it'd be completely unfiltered. I don't hang out with those people anymore because, to me, that that gets a little much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand humor and all, but even I've got my lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's still some lines for me, right? Because I fucking grew up right, and also on top of that, those people are still making those types of jokes and act those certain ways, and it's so annoying, and it's so believable to think that that is what's happening in this environment, because I know that there's people that I no longer like talk to, but I know how they act, and I've heard through other people how they act, and I'm like, they haven't changed. They're still doing the same stupid bullshit and being the same asshole. It's, you know, it's like to be like, oh, it's okay to be like with your boys and say stuff behind closed doors. No, not behind closed doors, bro. Those dudes are scary. Like, those dudes, like, I don't know, man. Like, I just can't fuck with that.
Next to you. Dark humor has its place, but it's not in the workplace. So these are pretty damning accusations.
I will also agree to that.
Just wait, it gets worse. In a particularly tragic example, a female employee committed suicide during a business trip with a male supervisor.
That's the one I remember.
Who had brought butt plugs and lubricant with him on the trip. Prior to the trip, lewd images of her had been passed around the studio at a holiday party. Now, I can't say for sure that all this happened. I wasn't there. But it's unusually specific.
I kind of don't want to watch the rest of it because I'm gonna be honest with you. He's kind of on that side of it's allegations right now, and clearly we know it's not that because it's gone ahead from this point. So I kind of want to stop here on this one just because he's kind of doing that whole, well, until we know more, you know, this is still fucked up, but I don't like that whole back and forth because we know what the fuck happened. I've reinvented myself several times ever since high school, not always in a good way, but still. You know, I mean, like, you know, we grows, we learns, and we learns, you know? But there are still some of those people that, like, they just haven't gone nowhere. They're just still stuck in a rut. And they still act in that weird way, you know? But that's Spike, right? So, we'll move on a little faster here. And we're gonna go straight to another channel that I really like to watch on YouTube. Young Yeah, very good with the gaming news. Stays on top of it all the time. But I'm too tilted. Call me out, Krim. All right, I've got you. Yeah. You know, maybe a little bit. Maybe you could tone it down just a little bit. Not too crazy, you know. But I appreciate you. Pissed off at John. I feel you. But here we go. We're gonna get into some more better news. How about that?
Well, this was not how I was expecting my morning to go, but here we are witnessing a historic moment in the gaming industry. Let's not mince words or waste any more time. Activision has been acquired by Microsoft, as in Activision Blizzard and all of its franchises and studios now belong to Microsoft. They're all now under the Xbox banner. Phil Spencer really was not joking around when back in November 2021, he said that he's evaluating their relationship with Activision.
That, and I applaud Phil Spencer 100% for doing this, because he straight up came out and called them on their bullshit and was like, yo, we're gonna reevaluate some shit. Like, came out and just fucking said it. Microsoft go after the whole alphabet, right? I mean, I think they're smart. I think Microsoft's fucking smart.
Following,
yeah, Nintendo did as well. Did Sony eventually do it, or are they still kind of pussyfooting around?
The reports and exposés on the culture of harassment, misconduct, abuse, and discrimination at the studio, where he commented that he was disturbed and deeply troubled by the horrific events and actions at Activision Blizzard, following a Wall Street Journal report that Bobby Kotick was not only complacent, but an active participant in the misconduct and abuse. Fast forward a few months, and here we are, January 18th.
So just hearing in the previous video, just hearing what, you know, what was going on, right? The CEO himself was in the reports of being being part of the allegations. Yikes.
2022.
That's why you've been seeing everyone say, you know, down with Bobby Kotick. Like, get rid of him. Like, get fucking rid of him.
When the official Xbox Twitter published the following: "Today is a historic moment. We are excited to announce that the world-renowned franchises and talented people at Activision Blizzard will be joining Team Xbox." Clicking on the link will take you to the full announcement, where head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, walks us through exactly what this means for the future of Activision Blizzard and the future of Xbox. It is incredibly exciting to announce that Microsoft has agreed to acquire Activision Blizzard, and what that means is franchises like Call of Duty, Warcraft, Candy Crush, Tony Hawk, Diablo, Overwatch, Spyro, Hearthstone, Guitar Hero, Crash Bandicoot, StarCraft, and more will be joining Team Xbox. All of these franchises...
Oh, no... Yo, Cat, Spyro's Xbox now, Cat. Imagine being that rich but still having to harass folks, right? But here's the cool thing, though. If it is, since it is under Microsoft, that means Spyro is Spyro already on the PC? Because that means Spyro on PC. And on Game Pass, probably.
Franchises are now under the Microsoft and Xbox banner. Think about that for a moment. Crash Bandicoot, which started as a PlayStation franchise, is now an Xbox franchise. Now belongs to Xbox. What is this timeline? I don't even know anymore. Now, it's important to note that while the deal is far along enough that we definitely know it's happening, that doesn't mean that it's been completed. It's going to take some time before all the signatures are in place and the ink dries, if you will. So until this transaction closes, Activision Blizzard and Microsoft Gaming will continue to operate independently. Once the deal is complete, the Activision Blizzard business will report to me as CEO.
Okay, so remember that first post, if y'all were in the Discord earlier today and in general when I was posting about this, I'm so glad that IGN deleted their tweet, because IGN's tweet basically said Microsoft bought Blizzard and there's no plans of Bobby Kotick stepping down at this time. And it was kind of misleading, because the official reports already stated that once the transition happens and it is under Microsoft, Bobby Kotick is stepping down and Phil Spencer is leading it. So I'm glad they got rid of that, because that made everyone like, no one really knew until they pulled the article up in full and read through it. People thought that Bobby Kotick was still going to be running things under Microsoft, but that's not the case. Luckily, once Microsoft has it, it's theirs, and Phil Spencer's running and heading it, which means he's going to flush out all the fucking trash. At least that's what I hope. I hope that Phil Spencer is going to flush out the fucking trash and give these workers better managers and good people to work for, so they can go back to working and making games that they love to make. So it gets a fat check at the end of the day that burns my... I understand that. I completely understand that. And to me, while that sucks, I'm still looking at the positive, because even though I hate that motherfucker gets to come out like that easy, I am happy that these workers finally get a second chance to actually whoever's left there, that is still like a Blizzard main, like that stuck it out as long as they could. Like, I hope that they are given justice, and I hope that people who were laid off, unless they've already gone to other companies, because some of these people may have actually gone to work for other gaming companies, you know, that does happen. They could be like, hey, we need an animator, we need a tester, we need a, you know, they may be already, some of them may be at other companies already. But for those that are kind of like looking for a comeback, I hope they can get rehired. I hope that Blizzard can come back to what it used to be with the devs that all dipped out prior. Can you imagine if those devs that they said that when they put their resignations down, if they didn't change or they'd leave and they let them leave? Imagine if those dudes came back wanting to work for Blizzard again because Phil Spencer's running it and letting them be good again. And then Microsoft will have the rights to launching Diablo 4 and shit. And like Microsoft will, like, at that point, you know what I would do? I mean, they bought them for like $70 billion, bro. If I bought Blizzard Activision, I would let those teams rebuild themselves, make sure that they were being managed correctly and fairly, and say, you know what? How much time you need for Diablo 4 to be fucking rocking? Right? How much more time you need for Overwatch 2 to be fucking baller? Right? And give them that time. Give them that time and let them work on that shit and come out swinging. It may be on Xbox and PC, but come out swinging. You know what I'm saying?
Microsoft
I see it as a positive.
Leave some questions about how Bobby Kotick will be handled. We'll get to that in a bit. Upon close, we will offer as many Activision Blizzard games as we can within Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass. So games across all of these franchises: Call of Duty, Warcraft, Candy Crush, Tony Hawk, Diablo, Overwatch, Spyro, Hearthstone, Guitar Hero.
Because that means the Battle.net browser won't be around anymore. It's all going to probably go under Xbox's game thing. It's going to be in the Xbox app. They're not going to have the Battle.net browser anymore, or the Battle.net thing.
Crash Bandicoot, StarCraft, and more will be coming to Game Pass, which means if you're already a subscriber, you'll have access to all of those games for free or for that subscription fee.
Fuck
and
yeah.
The Xbox Game Pass deal, which already offers a ridiculous amount of value, just got that much better. The service is doing pretty well right now with more than 25 million subscribers, which means that monthly they get roughly $375 million, and the subscription numbers are only bound to go up as the Game Pass deal gets juicier. Phil Spencer also highlights how this acquisition was part of their plan to also accelerate cloud gaming. And then finally, there is a bit on everything going on within Activision Blizzard, that culture of harassment, discrimination, abuse, and misconduct. So this is what Phil Spencer had to say. As a company, Microsoft is committed to our journey for inclusion in every aspect of gaming among both employees and players. We deeply value individual studio cultures. We also believe that creative success and autonomy, yes, autonomy, which is something that Activision has been giving Blizzard less and less of, alongside all of their other studios, go hand in hand with treating every person with dignity and respect. We hold all teams and all leaders to this commitment. We're looking forward to extending our culture of proactive inclusion to the great teams across Activision Blizzard.
Okay, and I agree, John. Yeah, the Xbox app right now is kind of hot garbage. It's kind of like any other client that's not Steam. Why does every other kind of gaming client suck except Steam? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you craft a healthy culture, it makes better games, right? And see, and that's the thing. That's why, like, everyone's all like, "Oh, Xbox don't have any games," and like, "Yeah, fuck Xbox, I'm all PlayStation," blah blah blah. Like, I hear people talk like that all the time. And I'm like, dude, Xbox is actually trying to turn it around and be a better company. Like, every time I hear about these companies that they're scooping up, what I keep hearing, like, from just online and stuff, the general buzz about it, is that these devs that are working for these companies that were snatched up by Microsoft, that Microsoft's letting them do what they do. Like, Microsoft's not like trying to conduct what they do, kind of like how, like, when EA buys something and EA just completely like changes the way that dev does all their games. because it's got to make money, right? They said that Microsoft is fairly hands-off as far as like dictating what the game is and how it has to be and all that shit. They give them the creative freedom. And ever since I kept hearing that about multiple devs, I was, you know what? I had no problem with it. You know, I'm like, I think this is for the better. It's kind of like how Nintendo lets Sakurai do his thing for Smash. Exactly. That's how it seems to me, at least.
There is no confirmation in this blog post as to what Bobby Kotick's fate will be once the deal closes, but Phil Spencer's emphasis on how he'll be in charge of Activision Blizzard once the deal closes, and his emphasis on how leaders are also expected to be held accountable and to be held to standards of treating people with dignity and respect, it all gives off the vibe that Bobby Kotick's tenure as head of Activision Blizzard and his involvement within that company will be coming to a close as soon as the deal goes through completely. Given all the controversy surrounding Bobby Kotick, I don't think Microsoft can afford to keep him around.
They're totally going to get rid of him.
Optics perspective.
But
what Microsoft can afford is to spend, you know, just the casual $69 billion, nice, in this historic deal, almost $70 billion. Just to give you some context as to how massive that quantity is, Nintendo's market capitalization currently is $61 billion, which means Microsoft spent more acquiring Activision Blizzard than what Nintendo is worth. And now Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax and Bethesda for $7.5 billion, which was a huge deal back in the day, looks measly by comparison. Microsoft basically spent 9 times what they spent on ZeniMax Media to acquire Activision Blizzard, making this Microsoft's largest purchase ever, with the company purchasing Activision Blizzard for $95 a share in cash. Now, Bloomberg does confirm that until this deal closes, Bobby Kotick will continue to serve in the role of CEO, but after that, it's hard to say for sure. It's unclear what position, if any, he would take afterward. Once the transaction is complete, the Activision Blizzard business will report to Phil Spencer, who was promoted along with the deal to CEO of Microsoft Gaming.
And here's the thing. I don't think they keep saying, you know, we still don't really know where Bobby Kotick's going to land. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm going, Bobby Kotick just got a big fat paycheck. Bobby Kotick isn't just going to go be a second-rate manager somewhere inside the company. Bobby Kotick's about to retire and get rid and wash his hands of this controversy. He got out unscathed. And that makes me upset too. That makes me upset too. I am happy that the workers now get a second chance, and they can hopefully get a little bit of justice, and hopefully they treat them well like they say they're going to, because that would be amazing for them. It sucks that this dude's getting out unscathed, but I don't like the fact that everyone keeps trying to say, like, well, we don't know, he could still be in the company somewhere. I don't think he's going to be anywhere in the company still. There's no way. He would be dumb to stay, and Microsoft would also be dumb to keep him. I will say this. If the reason why it's worded that way is the fact that Microsoft's going to keep him on as like an advisor or like some sort of side CEO side whatever thing, that will make me upset. I will retake everything I'm saying about Microsoft, and I'm gonna call them fucking stupid if they do that. He better be gone. And I feel like, because since this is Phil Spencer, and Phil Spencer was so outspoken, you know what's probably funny? This is the funny thing, right? This is how I see this going down. Phil Spencer is probably like hitting up Bobby Kotick like, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? Your shit's sinking, and I don't know if we're going to support you anymore. I don't know if I want your games on my systems anymore. I'm thinking about taking your shit all off of Xbox Live. What do you say about that? And Bobby Kotick's like, well, if you're that passionate about it, why don't you just buy it from me? And then fucking Phil Spencer turns and goes, how much? And Bobby goes, $69 bill. And Phil said, bet. Pah! slaps down that big old fat stack of 69 bill and says, "Give me your company." This is mine now, bitch. You can't run this right. This is mine. You can't have this anymore. Kitty his ass. Literally. This is perfect. Hold on. Yes. This is what they did. This is what Phil Spencer did. To Activision Blizzard. Acquired. I need to do an edit of that. I need to do an edit of that and then put Xbox across Kiryu's chest and then have the site that he's buying, Activision Blizzard. That'd make a good meme, right? Yeah, we're gonna save that. Google's MSFT's price, Microsoft price.
A deserved promotion given that Phil Spencer has been steering Xbox in the right direction ever since he took over Don Matrick, who utterly botched the launch of Xbox One, you may recall. As for how the market has been reacting to all of this, they've been loving the news. As for how the market has been reacting, report to Phil Spencer, who was promoted along with a deal to CEO of Microsoft Gaming. A deserved promotion given that Phil Spencer has been steering Xbox in the right direction ever since he took over Don Matrick, who utterly botched the launch of Xbox One.
Yeah, the whole reason why Xbox has turned around at all is Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer is Xbox Jesus. Like, he saved fucking Xbox from the dumpster fire that it was when it first came out. Remember, you remember back when Xbox One launched and they said you had to always be connected to the internet to play your video games? Your ones that you have a disc for? Remember how they said at one point that they were going to have it to where you wouldn't be able to have used games anymore, because when you bought a game for your Xbox One, it would be coded to your Xbox, making essentially reselling impossible. Remember that? Yeah. Remember how they on the launch of the Xbox One, they kept boasting more about the abilities that it had to connect to your cable box and be a DVR than it had to do with fucking video games? Well, yeah, I mean, the thing can play Xbox games too, but I mean, you could go, hey Xbox, go to Cartoon Network. Ah, look at it. It's playing Ed, Edd and Eddy. Look at it. It's your Xbox. It can play Ed, Edd and Eddy while you're playing some Halo. What do you think of that? That's some cool shit, right? But don't lose internet connectivity or you won't be able to use the whole goddamn thing. We wrap this bad boy up in one package and we're going to sell it to you for $599. Yeah, Phil Spencer is who pulled that sinking ship out of the water. And he's been doing badass for Xbox ever since. I've got to give him props for that.
I recall. As for how the market has been reacting to all of this, they've been loving the news, with stocks rallying across the board, especially Activision. This black line right here, you can see it jump up as of the announcement of this acquisition.
Wow.
And we're already getting some idea as to what internal communication has been like, with Jason Schreier tweeting a screenshot of an email that Bobby Kotick sent to staff today that reads as follows. Transactions like these can take a long time to complete. Until we receive all of the necessary regulatory approvals and other customary closing conditions are satisfied, which we expect to be sometime in Microsoft's fiscal 2023 year ending June 30th, 2023. So based on Bobby Kotick's estimation, the deal will fully close in about a year and a half from now. We will continue to operate completely autonomously. I will continue as our CEO with the same passion and enthusiasm I had when I began this journey in 1991. Yeah, that's the problem. The level of passion and enthusiasm you have towards greed and money and not showing that same level of passion for caring for your workers. That's the issue. That's exactly why we want you out of this company, Bobby. Of course, this announcement will give rise to so many questions. We will host numerous forums and events to make certain we address your concerns. I'm incredibly proud of this company, you and the work we have done together.
PR
now
speak,
it's on
blah,
to
blah,
our next
PR
chapter and the
speak,
endless
blah, blah,
possibilities
PR
this
speak.
transaction represents for us. Us? Who's us? You're out, Bobby. Or at least one would hope so. One would hope that Microsoft, Xbox, and Phil Spencer will make
cannot
the right
afford to
decision
keep him.
and not keep Bobby Kotick around, as that would basically be an endorsement of all of Bobby Kotick's failures, his negligence, and his complacency.
There's no way they're keeping him
to Activision Blizzard's
There's
culture
no way. There's no way Microsoft. Now, Microsoft done some dumb shit. Okay, let's be fair. All gaming companies have done some dumb shit at some point in their careers or in their lifespans of being video game companies. Video game companies always sometime at some point do some dumb shit. But it would be some dumb shit if Microsoft spent $70 billion just to leave the person at the top who was sinking the ship to begin with. They'd be fucking stupid. They're totally not going to leave him in there.
Harassment.
But then again, they could be stupid.
Misconduct, abuse, and discrimination, which Microsoft, Xbox, and Phil Spencer have come out and said does not belong within their own company. So hopefully the right decision will be made here. But
I hope so.
I imagine Bobby Kotick will receive a golden parachute. He will be handed a wad of cash in the hundreds of millions probably
that's what we're,
before he's let go. So no doubt this transaction represents an opportunity for you, Bobby Kotick. He'll be fine, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But getting this parasite out of Activision Blizzard will go a long way in paving the road to a vastly more positive future. I couldn't be more appreciative of your efforts, focus, and the dedication to connecting the world through joy and fun with gratitude. Nobody wants your appreciation or gratitude, Bobby. We just want you to shut up and leave. As for what Bobby Kotick has said publicly, speaking to the New York Times, apparently when asked about what his position will be at Activision once the deal closes, he said, post-close, I'll be available as needed, which is not a confirmation that he'll stay on. It's him basically saying, my fate is up to what is decided by...
Yeah, Bobby's sitting there going, hey, so, you know, even though I sold you my company, you know, you can always, you can always, fill me in on some things every once in a while. Maybe I could give a little advice here and there. And Microsoft's like, yeah, if we need you, Bobby, we'll call you. Okay. But, you go ahead. You go on. And if we need you, we'll call you. Throw his number in the trash. Can you throw it? Yeah, don't keep it. Just don't keep it. Don't put it in your phone either. Yeah, no, just don't. There you go.
By Microsoft, who will become the parent company of Activision
Face
Blizzard.
the final
and if this
boss,
Wall Street
Mr.
Journal
Gates.
article is anything to go by, then it seems highly likely that Bobby Kotick's fate is sealed. According to their sources,
Block his
Activision
number and
CEO
Twitter,
Bobby
100%.
Kotick is expected to leave the video game heavyweight that has been roiled by claims of workplace misconduct. And scrolling further down, you will get another statement that reads, Bobby Kotick, Activision's longtime CEO, is expected to leave after the deal closes, according to people familiar with those plans. We're still about a year and a half away from that. Bobby Kotick will remain CEO until then, but this is certainly better than nothing. But the flip side to that, again, is that Bobby Kotick will get a golden parachute, with outlets like Charlie Intel noting how, just so that everyone's aware, if Microsoft and Xbox want to get rid of Bobby Kotick when the deal is done, Kotick will get a minimum of a $250
million payout. Fuck you. Fuck you. Jesus Christ. Like, I knew it would be a lot, but damn. Wow. And then he has the gall to want to stay around somehow, being like an on-call advisor bullshit. Fuck off. Block his number on Twitter at minimum. Yeah. That makes my bones itch, right? Great, he can pay it back in civil court. Yo, okay, so does him stepping down or leaving the company like that, does that make him easier to sue since he's out of the company? Does that make it easier for like lawyers to go after him? It leaves it open. Then again, his $250 million leaving bonus is probably going to be plenty to pay off whatever fucking lawyer he needs. Because I'm sure he's about to get a bazillion lawsuits even more now that he's not a CEO of a company. He's just an average Joe, but they got a $250 check in his back pocket. $250 million. Yeah. Corporate protections legally. Exactly. So it does make it. So you know what? This actually may be okay. Now, the problem is he's going to have a fat stack of cash to fight back against it. But, which will probably, which to be fair, let's be honest. If people do band together and do take him to court after this, they're probably going to settle out of court. And Bobby Kotick's probably going to pay out like $2 million. Is going to get split amongst the victims or whatever. Which is bullshit still, but you know, that's probably how it will go. Denny Crane, though, right? Burn through that cash, right? Keep coming, burn through that cash. That's also true. They could keep burning through it. He'll sprinkle some of that fuck you money and then never think about it again. Yep.
$50 million payout. Yeah, that sounds about right. The power of being an executive. All of the benefits with none of the accountability. It'll also be interesting how Microsoft will deal with Activision Blizzard employees who are currently protesting, striking, and fighting for a seat at the table for unionization. Will Microsoft actually support that endeavor and help pave the road to that, or will they fight against employees on this front? Hopefully, given everything that Activision Blizzard employees have gone through, Microsoft will do the right thing here and try to meet employees from Activision Blizzard halfway. As for what my general opinions are on this acquisition, I largely agree with Jason Schreier's take here, where he essentially expresses how there are definitely concerns about monopolies, with a few gaming giants slowly acquiring all of the studios out there. There's definitely a conversation to be had about those concerns, but at the same time, when it comes to Activision Blizzard specifically, this is a company that's been in such a dire need of a shakeup because of piss-poor leadership that I am much more confident about Activision Blizzard's future under Phil Spencer. I think it'll pave the road to a better culture. It'll pave the road to more autonomy for the studios, more support, and more encouragement of their creativity rather than what Bobby Kotick aspired, which is them factory producing billion-dollar franchises at an unreasonable rate under unreasonable conditions. Can
you imagine if Xbox let them go back to just making games the way they want to make them, without having to have all the Activision microtransaction? We got to make this thing bleed money every single year. Being able to have a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years to really work on a game and bring out something that they're proud of, that they know will sell fucking like hotcakes. And they've already got a good multiplayer franchise anyway. Overwatch. Overwatch makes fucking bank. That's all they would need. And let the other devs that want to make single player games, let them make single player games without a bunch of bullshit attached into them.
Here's what Jason Schreier said: while monopolies are undoubtedly bad news for the video game industry, this acquisition could have some positive effects on Blizzard, both culturally and strategically. Under Activision, every game had to be a billion-dollar franchise. Under Xbox, that will likely change. Bobby's ultimate goal, other than to get away with everything he did, was to turn Blizzard into another Activision studio, cranking out yearly hits. Under Xbox, Blizzard may be able to regain some of its autonomy and fix some big problems, maybe. Important to also note here that many of Blizzard's issues were entirely self-inflicted and had nothing to do with Activision, including the misconduct and discrimination.
Wow.
There's definitely the drawback.
Okay, yeah, wow, all of that was Blizzard's side. That was all people working with Blizzard that was doing all that shit. That's crazy. That's sad. That's honestly kind of sad. Yeah, crossover? No. Don't put Overwatch in my Halo. No. I refuse. Maybe like cameos or skins, sure. That's fine. But no crossover. No crossover content. I like my Halo the way it is. Mechanics? Okay, bet. Alright, bet. Alright. I agree with you then.
that after a certain point, after the deal closes, future Activision Blizzard projects will no longer release on PlayStation 5 or Nintendo, as they could have had Activision Blizzard stayed third party. Those titles will likely be Xbox and PC exclusive, but under Microsoft and Xbox's leadership, employees may potentially be happier, and we might just get better products because of Xbox's general respect of studios having autonomy to pursue cool projects rather than just churning out and factory producing what they're hoping to be billion-dollar hits and whatnot, which is just a piss-poor approach to game creation. The hope is that Microsoft will be hands-on enough with Activision Blizzard that they'll hold leaders accountable within Activision Blizzard if they do something wrong, and they'll check in on the culture and the employees and make sure everyone's happy, but be hands-off enough that they'll give them the autonomy that they need and the time that they need and the resources that they need to make the best products possible instead of rushing them to factory produce hit after hit, which is just not tenable. But only time will tell really how all of this will play out. We've been making a lot of assumptions, but aside from this deal being confirmed and aside from vagueness surrounding whether Bobby Kotick will stay in any way, shape, or form a part of Activision Blizzard, which seems to indicate that he'll likely be ousted, but we don't know for sure. We don't know much else about how all of this will ultimately play out, but until we learn more, I mean, and aside from everything I've just said, I am at a loss for words, and this is just, I mean, a crazy, crazy thing to wake up to. But here we are. This is happening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'd certainly love to hear what your thoughts and opinions are on this acquisition. Do you think...
So, straight up, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. As long as Microsoft holds up to what they say they're going to hold up to. That's the thing. If they which so far with the other devs that they have acquired, other game companies they've acquired, have basically said that they treat them well. They treat them good. And a lot of those devs and those game companies they have bought up weren't in shambles or... See, that's the interesting thing. Here's the interesting thing about it. This is the first time that Microsoft has acquired a company that needs a restructure, that needs new leadership, that needs to get their direction put back on track, right? Now, here's the thing. Is Microsoft going to help them do that? Or are they going to just let them kind of internally do their own thing and then they wind up back where they started? That's going to be the big key thing here. If Microsoft can acquire them and guide them, help put them on the right track, get the right people back into power, get the right people back into leadership, get the right people, get the deserved people back into their working positions, and usher them into a new era, perfect. The other big worry too is the monopoly style thing that people are talking about, because they're like, oh, there goes Microsoft buying up more game companies, it's a monopoly. On one hand, I see that being a good thing and a very bad thing, right? The hope in me would hope that if Microsoft continues to buy up these game companies, that they will still act like they've been acting and never let the money get to them to where they start becoming like an EA or Activision, where they're trying to, these things need to make more money and these things need to make more money, right? If they let them stick to what they're doing, it can be great, because then all the money is funneled into one giant pool, and then certain game studios will have the resources and the money and the backing to make games they really want to make. And that would be like gaming utopia. That would be like gaming utopia, but the world has proven to me that it's not always like that. I'll get it pulled up here, Gene. The world has proven to me to be skeptical as shit of that, because typically everything starts out as a good idea, but when it gets into bigger pools of bigger corporations with more money, eventually somewhere along the way, here's the thing. Here's my problem with it. Before it hits gaming utopia mode, right? Before it hits gaming utopia mode, Phil Spencer's going to go, all right, you know what? I think it's about time I retire. Doesn't that shit always happen? Like, you know, when you finally get some things going and these companies merge together and they talk about the future and they talk about all this good stuff and you're like, yeah, oh, this is sweet. These two gaming companies have come together to do better. And then the people at the top that made all those great games and made those good decisions, and you want to see their combo work together, they go, we're retiring. We're going to leave it to these guys. I don't know, they gave us some money and we're retiring, so bye. And then it's like, everything falls apart. Because those new people get in there and they go, how can this make us money? Well, we know that this makes money at this other game company, so we're going to start making you do this so that we can make money. Because we really don't give a shit about your project. We don't really give a shit about your passion about games. We give a shit about money. That's the problem. As long as that doesn't happen, Xbox could be the utopia future of gaming. You never know. You never know.